At first glance, this looks like an eclectic selection of houses, but none of these images were actually created by a human. Instead, all of these are AI-generated images. And this creates a certain type of unease in me, because part of me is wondering how on earth is this algorithm is able to create images like this? And another part of me is thinking, will this thing gonna take away my job as an architect? And I think the artist and designer communities are feeling the same. You know, we all feel threatened by AI. However, AI-like algorithms have existed for a while. Famous examples of these are Google, Facebook, and Instagram. But this time around, there is a different type of AI that uses a generative process, and it achieves that through the process called diffusion that scrapes a large databases of images online in order to train itself to generate images. As a result, users can input a single word like, I don't know, a door or a dog, and the AI will create a unique image every single time without a fail. And of course, some of the AI users have adopted a much more elaborate approach where they'll use very particular types of prompts and very long strings of prompts in order to generate very specific types of images. Of course, AI is nowhere near to be perfect. You know, there are glitches in it and imperfections. For example, you know, this standing seam cladding, you know, is a bit blurry on the edges. Some of the detailing is off, and the AI didn't even recognize my request for the M type of roof in order to test this cladding. But it's not to say that this tool is not impressive. For example, half a year ago when I first tested it, it was already a pretty cool feature to be able to randomly create images from just a single word. And at that point when I was creating houses, they were a bit silly. But a couple of months ago when I tried it again, things have evolved dramatically, and I could see the progression through which this algorithm has gone in that half a year's time. And the latest edition of Midjourney AI, for example, can make images from using other images. For example, I was able to use YouTube video image that I was creating for a tutorial in order to generate some interior renders. Now, after I generated those renders, I could then use them to generate even more images. And with help of some prompts, I was able to create, I think, really interesting architectural spaces. And you can see how this iterative process can be self-perpetual. You know, the more you create, the more you can iterate and more interesting ideas you can get from this. So there is an assumption that AI will take away artists' jobs because it will be able to create artwork more efficiently, quickly, and innovatively every single time. So it does feel threatening, but I do think there are a couple of problems with this idea. The first one is that AI as it stands literally does not have a free will of its own. So it does need an operator in order to generate these images, no matter how simple they are. The other problem is much more subjective, and it's about the definition of the art itself. Is the machine that's able to generate thousands of images a minute really going to replace the traditional art? And will it involve the same type of emotional response as the traditional art? And I think transition to this new technology is going to be of the same importance as, for example, when manual drafting was replaced by CAD, or when the graphic design craft was replaced by Photoshop. All of a sudden, these new tools were able to make us more efficient and faster with our workload. And I think just like these tools were able to automate some of the designers and artists' work in the past, the same way new AI tools will be able to automate some of the things that artists and designers have traditionally done themselves. And some of you might be thinking, well, you know, the whole point of doing art or design is that there is this creative process that people enjoy that is involving going through ups and downs and then finally to the resolution of the art piece in the end. And iteration and idea generation is the whole fun part of creating art. And I would agree with that. And I'd still say that people who will start doing art are the ones that are the most interested in it anyway. So in that sense, AI will be just another tool in the artist's toolbox that will help them in that process by taking the cognitive strain away from the ideas generation. The same way like mathematicians, for example, are able to use computers to push the boundaries of the mathematical sciences, for example, but they still need to know the basics of algebra and advanced mathematics in order to do that. In the same way, artists will still need to be able to know how to come up with their ideas and how to iterate them in order to create that perfect piece of art. And the AI will play a role in that in the future, in that it will be able to provide a fast and precise route to getting to those ideas quicker. So yeah, I do think that AI is here to stay. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and if you can't beat it, you should join it. And on that note, I'd say check out this other video that I created over here that is a step-by-step tutorial on how to use a Mid-Journey AI, which is the type of AI that's quite popular among the artists and architects because it can create very aesthetically pleasing images very fast and easily. So check that video out if you want to learn more about AI, and I will see you in the next video.